Coming up, hundreds of children are still without their families. What could be the next? What could happen next along the southern border? Plus, the pilot for a Saudi royal family is behind bars. What he's accused of doing to a man in Northport. Now, a former Manatee County High School football star turned NFL player is now giving back to the local economy and community. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, hundreds of children remain separated from their parents along the southern U.S. border. And there's still no clear answers on when they could be reunited with their parents. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest from the border in California.
This 7-year-old boy separated from his mother at the border more than a month ago, now back in her arms. A senior White House official telling the Associated Press approximately 500 other migrant children have also been reunited with their parents since May. But still hundreds more kids being held in shelters and foster care facilities across the country remain in limbo. Among those waiting, Allison Jimena Valencia Madrid from El Salvador. Heard in this recording first obtained by ProPublica, which reports the 6-year-old is now in a facility in Phoenix, more than 1,200 miles from her mother detained in Texas. The girl who goes by Jimena heard begging a supervisor to call her aunt. And Wednesday, ProPublica was there listening to one of those calls.
The fact that Jimena was able to memorize this phone number turned out to be a really lucky thing for her. Many of the kids who come to this country who are her age or below, don't know things like phone numbers.
At least for the next 20 days, families caught crossing the border illegally will be detained together while the adults await court hearings. The Pentagon says it's looking into options for housing some 20,000 unaccompanied children in military facilities near the border, but it's unclear where families will be held. And Congress is expected to vote on an immigration bill next week, while here in communities near the border, there are more protests planned for today. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, El Cajon, California.
Well, even though President Trump reversed the separation policy with his executive order earlier this week, protests are still going on later tonight right here on the Suncoast. ABC 7's Marla Spence is in the studio now with a preview of that rally. Marla?
Yes, Scott, although the policy has been changed, there's been several protests across the country this week, and one is expected to happen right here on the Suncoast. Here's a look at rallies in several states that'll be similar to the one happening in Bradenton tonight. Answer Suncoast Coalition is the group responsible for organizing tonight's protests to keep families together. Now, although President Trump did sign an executive order to end families being separated, today's protesters are still demanding that children and families be welcomed into the United States compassionately. One organizer tells us protesters today plan to rally against what they say is a cruel attack on refugee families seeking asylum at the border. Brian Ellis of Answer Suncoast Coalition says he hopes this rally will motivate more change to the immigration policy.
So the rallies all around the country represent one giant movement, and that movement has already gotten Trump to back down from his family separation policy. The zero tolerance policy, however, is still in place, and that's a policy that's in violation of international human rights law. You can't treat asylum seekers and refugees, people who need help, like criminals.
Now, protesters will gather at the intersection of Cortez Road West and 14th Street West in Bradenton. They plan to be out at that intersection between 6:30 and 8 tonight. Ellis says he hopes tonight's protests will spread the national movement and put the pressure on local politicians and representatives. Back to you, Scott.
Okay, Marla, thank you so much. Remember, for the latest breaking news across the country and here at home, and your first alert weather forecast, you can download our app. You can find it in your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. A pilot for the Saudi royal family is arrested and charged with stealing thousands of dollars from a Northport man. 49-year-old Marcin Urbanski arrested Tuesday in Maine after the plane in which he piloted had landed. Investigators say in late 2015, Urbanski offered the victim a job as a pilot for an airlines overseas, but he was told he would have to wire money to a bank in Poland for administration fees. Turns out Urbanski had no authority to offer a job to anyone.
We were informed that there was some movement in this case earlier this week, and happy to see that some of our work that we put in will hopefully find some justice for someone.
It's such a shame, and a neighbor of ours that was taken like that. I hate to see somebody taken for anything.
Urbanski is charged with grand theft. We don't know yet if he'll be extradited back to Florida. A Manatee County Dollar General store is robbed by a gunman. The incident happening at the store on 33rd Street East in Bradenton. Deputies say the robber walked into the store, pointed a gun at the clerk, and demanded money from the safe. Deputies are now looking for a black man in his 20s who was wearing a black long-sleeve shirt, plain black hat, and ski gloves. He's considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, call the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. The Manatee Village Historical Park in Bradenton is closing for the rest of the month to undergo some repairs. That museum, Stevens House, and all the artifacts inside are being updated and cleaned, and the buildings are being repainted. The park should be open again in time for the start of July. New at noon, a former Suncoast High School football star who now plays for the Atlanta Falcons is giving back to the community. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us with a preview of an event this afternoon. Ray?
Yeah, Scott, Brian Poole played for Southeast High School, the Florida Gators, and now the Atlanta Falcons. But today, this 25-year-old will hold his second annual football camp at the Manatee County Police Athletic League. The free camp is open to kids ages 8 to 17. Here's some video of Brian intercepting a pass for a touchdown in a college all-star game a few years ago. Poole says he promised himself if he ever made the pros, he wouldn't forget to come back to his hometown and help the kids.
It's a really good feeling just because, I mean, at one point I was one of those kids, you know, going to, you know, some of the guys from the community camps and, you know, stuff like that. So just, you know, for the tables to turn and, you know, me to be the guy who kids are coming to my camp is really a blessing and an honor.
The Police Athletic League field is on 13th Avenue East. The camp starts today at 5 p.m. More information on our website, mysuncoast.com. Scott?
All right, Ray, thank you so much. Good guy. Glad you're coming back and giving back. And hope they have a lot of Gatorade on hand there for that camp because it's hot again today, John.
Absolutely right. You know, it sure is. Well, the heat index is what gets you, you know, all that humidity out there. As long as we have this west wind, we're going to have all that humidity.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Right off the water.
You know it.
In.
Exactly. So we need a southeast wind.
Right.
And maybe we get that next week. That's the hope anyway. Okay. But for today, the west wind continues, and it's already starting to have its effect. Our Lakewood Ranch webcam, put into motion, shows those clouds building right along the, generally a sea breeze front enhanced by that westerly wind flow and a few showers out there. We've had even a thunderstorm this morning, so I think we'll see more of that as we head through the afternoon. Generally speaking, showers near the coast, drifting inland over the course of the next couple of hours, and then the majority of the activity focusing inland and drifting further from the coast. So over the course of the next couple of hours, 30% chance of rain is what I'll give it near the coast and inland as well as we transition to mostly inland showers. Mix of sun and clouds today. Daytime high again warm near 90 with feels like temperatures when you factor in the humidity up near 100. And then as we head into the evening, trending down those rain chances as the showers move east. We also have some issues with red tide. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, John, thank you. ABC 7 business commentator Jeff Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street. And it looks like another down week in the markets, although we're doing a little better today.
That's right, Scott. 8 days in a row for the Dow, believe it or not. So hopefully we'll end up better today.
Right,
So far, the Dow's down around 2.5% for the week, while NASDAQ's down 0.5%, S&P right around 1% for the week. The 10-year Treasury is still hanging around that 2.91% or so. Big news today, OPEC meeting. They think maybe another 1 million barrels a day might be coming out. News of that, oil's up around $67, up almost 3%. And that's been the excitement so far. This morning, the futures were positive. Let's see how we're currently trading. Dow Jones Industrial, look at that, positive 132 points at 24,594, up 0.5%. NASDAQ 7,695, which has been leading, is actually negative 17.5 points, 0.25% in the red. S&P is positive as well, 2,758, up 9 points, 1/3 of 1%.
Well, Jeff, General Motors is coming back with one of its original SUVs. I saw some photos of it last night. It's pretty sharp looking.
It's definitely sharp looking.
Yeah.
You know, they debuted actually in 1996 or 69. Excuse me. They were the pioneer. The Blazer is coming back. 1983, they came out with a smaller version, if you recall, the S10. 2005, they discontinued, and 2019 is when we expect to see it back. The SUV craze is still strong, GM believes. They're going after the younger consumer with this model, a more aggressive look. Interior is going to be pretty sporty. It's going to be in between the Equinox as well as the Traverse. We'll see how that happens, but 5 people it's going to hold. The back seat's going to slide, so it could be more room for passengers, more for cargo, which is really what everybody's wanting. GM is trading about 1.5% positive today.
So investors like it, I guess.
They like it.
All right.
Definitely.
Jeff, thanks so much.
Thank you, Scott.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, the warning signs to keep in mind the next time you hit the beach with your family to avoid suffering a heat stroke. And then later, why the Supreme Court says police now need a warrant to access your cell phone.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Iguanas only reproduce 1 month out of the year.
That's because they suffer from erectile dysfunction.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, what color represents the lowest threat level?
Is Caucasian a color?
Which casino game has the best odds for a payout?
The ATM.
Funny you should ask. Weekdays at 4:30 and 11:30 on ABC 7.
You are like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
The summer sizzles at the Players Center with the opening of Crossing Delancey. City cultures collide in this charming play about a young woman searching for love and the New York dream. Opening June 14th, call 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Get your tickets to the perfect romantic comedy, Crossing Delancey.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So here we go. We have an air temperature of 89, almost at the 90 mark. We have a west wind at 10, kind of picking up the moisture from sea foam and interactions with the water and slinging it back in this direction. A dew point value about as high as it gets at 76. And you combine all that together and we have a feels like temperature already at this hour of 100 degrees. So we are headed to another very warm day between 100 and 105, our heat index, and I just got to say, if you're going to do any strenuous outdoor activity, just allow yourself some time to rest, some time in the shade to cool down, and drink plenty of hydrating liquids. So that's the name of the game through the afternoon. We have showers that are kind of popping up here and there along the coastline. That's good. That'll help cool a few folks down if you happen to be under one of those downdrafts. But otherwise, as we head into the afternoon, that 30% chance of showers is going to focus into inland areas. And the showers near the coastline are going to kind of fade away as we stabilize that environment and push all the instability inland. About a 10% chance of showers, that's about it as we head into the evening. Showers right now are kind of popping up here and there across the landscape with some showers building in inland areas. I guess a higher concentration in inland areas, but we still have some out in Gulf waters that'll be moving toward the coastline. Of course, red tide, still an issue. In fact, I have not such great news to report here. The red tide in the atmosphere, the irritants that are in the air at the beaches due to the red tide blooms in the water, are reported creeping northward now by Mote Marine spotters, and so Coquina Beach even has low irritant in the air. But there are many more beaches that have moderate to intense concentrations of irritant. Manasota intense again today. The only place escaping any red tide at this moment is Holmes Beach, Manatee Beach, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see that creep a little bit further northward with time. We have this west wind helping to pull that red tide in toward the shore. We need it moving away, and we will get that eventually. Mix of sun and clouds through the rest of the afternoon. We'll watch for winds out of the west to be sustained for boaters at about 10 knots. Nice day for boating, except for that red tide. 30% chance of showers today, tomorrow the same. Sunday, we may start to see a shift in the winds back to the east. And if we see that, it'll concentrate more rainfall at our coast, 30% chance of that. And once that east wind begins, it may either be Sunday or it may be Monday, we'll start to keep in an east wind flow pattern right straight through the next several days. So it looks like next work week will feature more showers, cooling showers near the coast. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart today, it's the second day of summer and a good time to remind you heat exhaustion and heat stroke can be very, very dangerous. Doctors say if you're feeling lightheaded, nauseous, or have a headache, you could be experiencing signs of heat exhaustion. If you start to feel this way, it's important to drink water, go into an air-conditioned room or the shade. Most at risk are the very old and the very young.
Anybody that's older or a young child, those people are definitely at higher risk for having complications from getting overheated. So it's really important to take extra precautions if you're going to enjoy a day outside.
She also says if you enjoy working outside, it's best to do so in the early morning or early evening when the temperatures are not as hot. Well, it's time for lunch, and ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher joins us live today at Popey's Place on the island of Venice. Hi, Judy.
Well, hi there, Scott. You know, I love coming down to Venice. There are so many lovely little places to eat at that you'd be surprised where they are. Well, tucked back in this plaza right off 41, it's right near the car wash in front of the little hot dog stand, you find Popey's Place in Venice. This is this beautiful interior. It's somewhere between a coastal and a farm chic. I just love it. But what's really important is the great food and the cocktails. So stay with me throughout the hour as we come to you from Popey's Place right here in Venice.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced. Please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Welcome back. Time now to meet our pet of the week. John is with the founder of Dante's Den and host of Animal Outtakes, Marcia Panucci, to tell us more about Zeus. Guys?
Indeed, we have Zeus here today, and Zeus is a handsome dog.
Oh, yes, he certainly is, isn't he?
He sure is.
And I see a lot of boxer in him. Look at that face.
You do, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got the most adorable smile. He's got an underbite, and anytime they have an underbite, they just steal the show.
Here.
But Zeus is a little bit of our senior citizen
Is he?
today. Yeah, he doesn't look it, but
He's holding up well.
Yeah, he's perfect health. But he is about 9 years old. And, you know, if you want that buddy that's going to sit next to you watching the football game, maybe passing you a beer, you never know.
Really? You got him trained?
Yeah, sure.
Wow, that's impressive.
Well, this guy
That's a
is
good
the guy
skill to
that's
have
going to
there,
do it.
Zeus.
He loves other dogs. He loves children of all ages. He loves senior people. And, you know, he's just absolutely perfect.
He's totally laid back.
Yeah, he really, really is.
I mean, a lot of times when we come in here, we have robotic cameras that move around. They're big, huge cameras that move around on the floor. They freak out animals. But he was like totally laid
you
back
know,
about it. He's
whatever,
chill.
you know. And he's got the cutest little white itty bitty star right there. And I always feel when they have the stars, they are specially blessed.
So you say he's a senior, but does he have any health issues?
Not that we know of at the moment. He's a good walker. He can still run after that Frisbee if you want to throw it. But he likes to take life just a little bit easy now.
Seems like he's been very well cared for. I mean, he's proper weight, he looks like. He looks like he's in good shape.
He's just great. And, you know, the thing is he's housebroken. He has a few commands that he will listen to. And, you know, if you don't want to go through that puppy stage, and boy, puppy stage is very, very difficult.
Yeah, you got to be ready for it.
As we get a little bit older, this is the perfect dog. They just come in and can sit down, and they are charming.
And get him adopted by how?
They're presented, actually Zeus is presented today by the Bishop's Animal Shelter, and you can call them at 941-792-2863.
Give him a call. He's a great dog. Marcia, thanks so very much.
Thanks, John.
Hey, Zeus.
Hey, Zeus.
Good luck, buddy.
Okay.
You're a good one. Scott.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Marcia. Well, let's get back now to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. She's enjoying lunch today at Popey's Place on the island of Venice. Judy?
Well, that's right, and I want you to meet Cheryl, who's a big part of Popeyes, not only in bringing Popeyes to Venice, but the style. So thank you for having us, and tell us how this evolved and became your project.
Oh, our project started many, many years ago when we met Popey, and we've done some remodeling for Popey, and then my husband decided, hey, let's open a restaurant in Venice. So we moved to Venice, and we decided to do a Popeyes here. Finding a location was hard,
I bet.
But this location had all the bright light, and we were able to introduce a patio outside with a full bar, and people love it.
The patio is beautiful, and if you look on our Facebook Live, WWSB, that's ABC7, we just did a Facebook Live, you'll get to see where they're located in the outdoor patio and bar. It's wonderful. Now, this is what I call just your comfort place, right? You serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast is until 3 o'clock. We have dinner till 8 right now, and we serve lots of different flavors.
I can see this. Now, I know Chef Ray's coming out in a little bit. Let's talk about some of the cocktails, because you have some really inspired items.
Yes, we do. We have lots of mimosas, and we have Greek mojitos. Our Bloody Marys are our favorite. And then, of course, we have a lot of specialty wines.
Now, the Greek mojito, I should tell you, has a little bit of ouzo in it. So I did ask, do we throw the glass down when we're done? I was not allowed to, but...
The ouzo is delicious.
Now, are these Popeyes recipes or a combination?
A combination. Most of them are Popeyes recipes. And we have homemade muffins here. We do serve fresh quiche here. We have a lobster quiche, which is delicious.
Oh, yes.
And a spinach and goat, which is even more fabulous. And now we have avocado toast we're introducing. So we have vegan-friendly options as well.
And we were talking about that. You were telling me that your daughter is a model in LA and is vegan.
Yes, yes. And she has lots of ideas, so I have a little bit in my brain.
And I'm going to be picking your brain as you get to have even more recipes up on the dining page. Now, we'll be back in just a few minutes with Chef Ray. Find out what's for my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Back soon.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Impreza is an IIHS top safety pick for 11 years running. Lease a new Subaru Impreza today for just $155 a month. Or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TruStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here. Because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Coming up, a deadly police shooting in Pittsburgh igniting protest, why many in that community are so upset. Plus, the Buccaneers prepare to open the season without their star quarterback. How long Jameis Winston will be suspended. And why Lakewood Ranch is ranked among the top communities in the nation.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. New developments today out of Pittsburgh as protests continue after the deadly police shooting of an unarmed 17-year-old who was running away from a car. ABC's Maggie Rulli explains why critics of law enforcement there are calling the shooting unjustified.
Protesters were still in the streets early Friday after a second night of demonstrations. Last night, they shut down this interstate, backing up traffic in both directions for miles. Refusing to stop until action is taken in the fatal police shooting of 17-year-old Antoine Rose. Cell phone video captures the moment the officer, Michael Rosfeld, shot Antoine 3 times as he and another passenger fled the vehicle after being pulled over by police.
They should know teenagers run away when they get scared. That cop needs to own up to what he did.
There's no excuse for an officer to shoot someone in the back in the setting that we see in the video that everyone in America has seen by now.
Investigators say the car Antoine was in was under suspicion, possibly connected to a nearby shooting. But ABC News has learned that car was a rideshare service similar to Uber. The driver has been questioned and released. Police say 2 guns were found inside the car, but they've released little to no details about the driver or the second passenger who got away.
I'm just tired of it, and something has got to be done. Something has got to be done.
Antoine's mother released a poem she says her son wrote 2 years ago. It was read out loud during a large protest in downtown Pittsburgh.
I see mothers bury their sons. I want my mom to never feel that pain.
Our ABC affiliate in Pittsburgh spoke with Officer Rosfeld face to face, and he confirmed that he was just sworn into the department mere hours before the shooting, although he had been with the force for several weeks and a police officer for many years. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
New at noon, the Supreme Court adopting new rules for cell phone tracking for law enforcement. Police will now generally need a search warrant if they want to track criminal suspects' movements by collecting information about where they've used their phones. The justice's 5-4 decision today is considered a victory for privacy in the digital age, and it's a big change from when authorities used to be able to go to the phone company and obtain information about the numbers dialed from a home telephone without presenting a warrant. Well, hold on to your seat. Take a look at this. Gas station surveillance cameras catch the moment a driver of a compact sedan who was speeding down a road loses control, goes airborne before flipping and landing on 2 gas pumps. There was no fire after the crash, and remarkably, the woman driving that car was able to get out and walk away on her own before being taken to the hospital with just minor injuries. Closer to home near Longboat Key, the Coast Guard rescuing 2 boaters after their vessel capsized about 6 miles offshore. Calls came in around 8:30 Thursday night that the boat was taking on water, and by about 8:50, only 20 minutes later, crews were able to pick them up. The Coast Guard found them clinging to the hull of that boat. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Coast Guard always quick on the scene when they can find that location, and that's sometimes that's the hardest thing to do when somebody's in distress if they don't have an EPIRB or a device that uses GPS. With that device, man, they know right where you are.
And it's the best thing to have if you're going to be out there.
Yeah.
Also understand there's some of the radios, the two-way radios you have that will transmit a location, a GPS location when you use the newer ones. So something to look into if you're a boater, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't have that problem quite yet, but maybe one day. It's a long story. We have out there in Gulf waters, pretty quiet conditions for the most part. And we got a few showers out there, but Casey Key webcam shows we started the day pretty nice, and then a few clouds building. You can't really see the showers that are out there. The nearest shower is about 10 miles away or so, and the horizon, as you stand on ground, probably only about 3-4 mile visibility. So they're out there, though. There's the nearest one just off the coast of, just about the coast of St. Armands, actually. And they are gradually drifting closer to shore. The biggest storm right now is located closing in on Arcadia, kind of at the junction of 70 and 72 there. That's a pretty good storm. Otherwise, just a smattering of clouds out in Gulf waters with about a 30% chance of rainfall near the coast for the next couple of hours, followed by the focus being in inland areas later in the afternoon and into the evening when all of those showers will kind of drift further and further away from the coast. We'll talk about that coming up in just a second. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Happening in Florida, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will likely have to start the upcoming season without their starting quarterback. The NFL planning to suspend Jameis Winston for the first 3 games of the season. The suspension comes from an alleged groping incident Winston was involved in during an Uber ride back in 2016. He has denied those allegations, but there's no word yet on if he plans to file an appeal to that suspension. An update now from SunPass. Users will not be charged late fees or penalties for the state's error during their system update. The current billing delay will not impact the customer's ability to travel on the system. SunPass customers will continue to be charged the tolls. A timeline will be announced soon as to when fees will be restarted for past due accounts. Looking ahead, the Florida Highway Patrol will be on the lookout for drunk and impaired drivers this weekend. Its latest DUI Wolfpack operation starts at 9 p.m. tonight and goes through 5 a.m. on Sunday. The operation will take place in Sarasota, Manatee counties and will focus on I-75 and other major state and county roadways. Troopers are hoping to get more impaired drivers off the road to help keep everyone safe, so don't be surprised if you see a lot more troopers on the roads this weekend. The Lakewood Ranch community being recognized in Ideal Living magazine's Best of the Best issue. The area named among the top 100 planned communities and best golf communities in the country. The development has also been named the 3rd best-selling master planned community across the country. Happening today, even during the summer break, one group of Suncoast High School students is keeping the learning process going. The Booker High School engineering team traveling to Atlanta today to compete in a national competition in events like animatronics, structural design, and transportation modeling. Students choose a competition they're interested in, research it, and then have to build a model. The competition builds students' critical thinking and time management skills.
They can take it into college. Some of the certifications we offer allows them to exempt some college classes because they've already got the skill set necessary, that they can then come back here, come back home, and they're ready to go to work someplace and be overly productive.
Students are also collaborating with local companies and organizations like Moe Marine Lab, Tervis Tumbler, and architects of the Downtown Quay project. We wish them the best of luck in Atlanta, who are competing this weekend. All right, let's get back out to Culinary Director Judy Gallagher now. She's enjoying lunch today at Popey's Place on the Isle in Venice. Judy?
Well, Scott, I'm enjoying breakfast, lunch, dinner, and cocktails, so my weekend is made. Chef Jay, thanks for coming on with us.
How you doing?
Great.
Well, we can get right into it. What we have here is our breakfast. We have steak that's braised on a cast iron grill with sunny side up eggs. We have our Haas avocado toast. We have 2 selections out of the 8 that we serve. One's with tomatoes and sprouts, coconut oil, and then the other one over here has a sunny side egg up with herbes de Providence and feta cheese.
Oh, that sounds amazing and so trending. Now, you wouldn't be in the South if you didn't have biscuits and gravy.
Yes, this is our interpretation. It's called Jack Special. It also has home fries on it also.
Ooh, little carb loading. If you're walking the beach, you deserve it.
Yes, ma'am. We also have our crab cake Benedict, which is our spin on a regular Benedict, but instead of ham, we substitute it with a crab cake patty, and it's deep fried. And we also have our spanakopita and Greek salad. That's a favorite for everybody. We have our traditional hero, which is carved right off the spit.
And I have to say that Sammy, who's behind the camera, Sammy is like smiling and laughing because she tagged that for lunch.
Yes, ma'am. This is our cowboy steak. It's basically a Philly cheese on top of the steak with onion rings.
What a creative spin. I have Chef Envy there. And of course, who doesn't like a traditional
ribeye that goes on our cast iron grill. We cook it right on the cast iron grill to sear in all the flavors. And this is traditional pork Slovakia.
Which I've called for my lunch, of course. And tell me about what's on top.
What we do here is we have Kalamata olives, cucumbers, tomatoes. It's on a bed of romaine, and then we top it with the feta cheese and then the tzatziki sauce.
Oh, I love tzatziki. And, I mean, people love a good Parmesan. This is from the dinner menu?
Yes, ma'am. This is the dinner menu. It's a chicken Parmigiana with garlic bread.
So you have so many different choices. They have delicious homemade muffins. The menu is amazing. I'm looking up at the menu board that's ever changing. Chicken and waffles, different vegan specials, so much. So come out to Popey's right here on the island of Venice on 41. But there's more. We're coming back for dessert, and you'll get to see a look at the bar in just a few minutes. Thank you so much.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
According to a new survey by U.S. News and World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Yeah, so it doesn't take much heating. We're up to 89 degrees right now with a heat index of 100. It is going to be a steaming afternoon with a west wind coming in at about 10, picking up that moisture, slinging it back across the coast. Dew point value 76. That's like dead summer kind of dog days heat. We're looking at 90-degree air temperature for today. We have a 30% chance of rain showers first along the coast, but then by 3 o'clock, I think majority of the activity is going to be well inland. About a 10% chance of showers as we head into 7 p.m., clearing up overnight. We've got a few scattered showers now in progress in inland areas and along the coastline. The general westerly wind flow will be pushing more and more of that into inland areas, where the biggest storm right now is located near Arcadia. High pressure is kind of the culprit of that west wind. Located to our south, it directs our winds out of the west, and it takes showers, picks them up near the coastline, and kind of pushes them right toward the other coast, where they will die out. Now tomorrow morning, we'll see the same sort of thing. Showers will build near the coastline. They'll eventually grow as they get further inland, and they'll be pushed toward the other coast, where they'll explode into larger storms before dying out. So it generally means that at the coast or close to the coast, the evenings will be pretty nice, and so will the afternoons. It also means that at times of maximum daytime heating, you're not going to have the cooling rains around to benefit from those nice downdrafts that you get. That'll be the case for probably 2 days, I think. Warm, muggy, humid, and then perhaps on Sunday we'll start to see a weather shift as that high lifts northward and the winds out of the west kind of reverse and start coming at us in the opposite direction, out of the east. When that happens, we start to see showers building inland and then drift back toward the coastline, which is a good thing. West wind at about 10 knots for the next several days, several hours, probably for the next several days actually. Coming in at about 2-foot seas, expect a light chop on bay and inland waters. Water temperature now warm at about 87, but I think as soon as we get that easterly wind flow, we'll probably cool that temperature down a few degrees. So we're not at a 90-degree water temperature for a long period of time, I don't think. 9:12 was our high tide. Low tide comes at 4:50, and then another high tide coming at 10:17. A forecast looks like this: 30% chance of showers today and tomorrow. Then on Sunday, maybe that wind reversal will push a few more showers toward the coastline, so I've upped the rain chance to about 50%. I think maybe as we head into Monday, we will have established that easterly wind flow, and it will be with us really for a good part of the next work week, keeping our rain chances at about 40 or 50%. Back to you.
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, there are more than 600 sunscreen products on the market these days. So how do you know which ones work the best when it comes to protecting your family? ABC 7's Stephanie Webb joins us from Lido Beach.
Thank you, Scott. Well, more kids out of school these days means more kids on these beaches. It's a perfect time for a little reminder of just how important it is that your kids are wearing sunscreen, because every one of those sunburns that your kids get before they turn 18 increases their risk of getting skin cancer as adults. So when it comes to finding the best sunscreen for your kids, where do you start?
First, know what you're looking for. The SPF factor is a relative measure for just how long a sunscreen will protect your kids from the sun's rays. Look for broad spectrum sunscreen. That protects your kids from both UVA and UVB rays. Second, 2 ingredients to look for in your sunscreen are zinc oxide and titanium oxide. Now, both of those are found in the top-rated sun protection. Third, reapply it often, especially if your kids are swimming a lot during the day. We have a complete list by the brands of the best and worst sunscreens online at mysuncoast.com.
2 other quick reminders for you. First, don't forget about the eyes. Make sure your kids are wearing sunglasses that protect their eyes from those UVA and UVB rays. And if you are headed out to the beach, make sure you check that day's conditions. One important thing to always keep your eye on is the UV index. It's kind of like a gauge of just how intense the sun's rays are going to be for that day on the beach. So you can always find the UV index every day right here on our free ABC 7 app. Back to you, Scott.
Stephanie, thank you so much. Florida's busiest airport will become the first in the country to use new face scanners at security checkpoints. The plan at Orlando International is to only use the scanners on all arriving and departing international flights, at least at first. A few other airports are using those face scanners, but just on some departing international flights. The image from the face scan will be compared to a Homeland Security database of people who should be on that particular flight. SpaceX scoring a massive new military contract. The Air Force picked the company's Falcon Heavy rocket to launch its satellite starting in 2020. The contract is worth $130 million. Falcon Heavy is the most powerful rocket in operation now. It grabbed headlines back in February when it sent Elon Musk's personal Tesla Roadster into orbit. SpaceX's next launch of the Falcon 9 at the Cape is set for next Friday at around 6 a.m. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why ABC is working on a Roseanne spinoff without the title star.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutTheLink.org to learn more.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
And of course, it's time for dessert. Now look at this. This is like triple chocolate. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. There's a brownie inside of this, and everything is homemade. This is their puff version of a cannoli. Definitely enough for 2. With all beautiful cream. Of course, if it's Popeyes, you're gonna have baklava. Some days you'll have homemade rice pudding, a beautiful creme brulee, excellent muffins, and you know what over there? A fried cheesecake. That's right. I'm going to tuck into a little creme brulee. Maybe wash it down with a mimosa, and cheers to you. I hope you all have a nice weekend and come out for brunch, lunch, or dinner at Popeyes right here in Venice. Back to you guys.
All right, Judy, thank you so much. In entertainment news, the latest in the Jurassic Park series heads to theaters, and Lucasfilm gives Star Wars fans hope on the future of series standalone films. ABC's Jason Nathanson has the headlines from Hollywood in today's Showbiz Wrap.
How big a roar will the Jurassic World sequel have at the box office this weekend? Chances are it won't be as big as the first film, which was the first movie to score a $200 million opening weekend when it debuted in 2015. Tracking has Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom opening somewhere in the $130 to $140 million range, which is still a lot of dino dough. No other films are opening wide this weekend. More health issues for Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker, the band canceling Las Vegas shows through the end of the month, while Barker's in the hospital due to complications from blood clots in his arms. The band says Barker's ability to play will be reevaluated in July. Our future standalone Star Wars films being put on hold because Solo: A Star Wars Story wasn't a monster success? Not so fast, says Lucasfilm, the company responding to a report that a possible upcoming Obi-Wan or Boba Fett movie might be shelved to focus on Star Wars Episode 9 and future trilogies. Lucasfilm assures us the spin-offs are still in development. And happy birthday today to Meryl Streep. The actress with the most Oscar nominations turned 69, and the girl who just wants to have fun, Cyndi Lauper, turned 65. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
ABC is moving ahead with the Connor family without Roseanne Barr. This comes just weeks after canceling the sitcom Roseanne after Barr posted racist and bizarre tweets. ABC says it's keeping the show alive as a spin-off with the working title The Connors. Barr said she wishes the best for everyone involved. ABC says the spin-off will premiere in Roseanne's former time spot sometime this fall. Some personal items owned by Walt Disney himself are going up for auction. Collectors will be able to bid on everything from one of Disney's business cards to stock certificates with his signature to a plot map that he used to draw the boundaries of Disneyland. But the auction is not just for the well-to-do. Starting bids range from $50 to $100,000. Now is your chance to buy one of Elvis Presley's private jets at auction. The abandoned rust-ridden aircraft has been sitting on a New Mexico runway for 36 years, and it needs a lot of work before it can ever fly again. For starters, there's no engine. Also, the customized aircraft's cockpit is a mess, and the plush velvet seats are worn as well. It reached a price of $430,000 at an auction last year, but the buyer apparently balked after seeing the massive scope of the needed repairs. Bids are being accepted now through online auction site Iron Planet through July 27th. Music artist Pink was seen at the Toasted Mango Cafe yesterday in Sarasota. The cafe's Siesta Key location shared a photo of her and thanked her for stopping by. Pink was seen with her husband and 2 children. Toasted Mango said they appreciate the world-famous singer for coming in and making the staff's day. I bet it did.
Yeah, you heard it.
Finally, a heartwarming story out of Texas. Cameras were rolling as 1-year-old Isla Essler, who was born deaf, heard sounds for the very first time. Isla was with her family at Cook Children's Hospital, where she received a cochlear implant. You can see Isla hold her hand up to her ear and smile as she hears for the first time, the whole thing bringing her mom, Anna, to tears of joy. Family is hoping the little girl's story raises awareness so that more families may be able to find similar relief through that surgery. Isn't that cool?
Wow.
Yeah.
The start of a new life.
Yep, absolutely. Hope everyone here has a great day and a weekend ahead, and we invite you back at 5 o'clock. Thanks for joining us.